So we are clear that you will allow me the use of your feuds in order to reclaim my family's estate in Northumbria, possibly?
If you recall, I said you would have to prove your value to us first.
Well, technically, I might have already proved myself when it came to the Battle of Castle Dunbroch, but if you want to make that kind of point, then technically we need to reclaim the land first before you could grant it to me. This is a fine goal, to be sure. How about we call it England for short? After all, many of those on the outside are referring to us Anglo-Saxons as English. Many of us have already begun to refer to ourselves as English. But in the process, many of these who have come over to settle, many of them are good people, just as they are in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. They're people just like you and me. Many of them just need the light of Christ. We should at least allow them to settle and eventually become citizens. Can't we allow them to stay?
In theory, yes, I could.
And why would you want to grant them lands? Peasant or not, they're a primitive, savage, wild race. Merida, I will handle this. Lord Odda, were we Anglo-Saxons any different? When we ended up taking this land, we drove the entire population of the Celts from the inhabited lands and burnt down the cities, burnt churches, and took entire populations as slaves, just like the Vikings are doing. But that does not mean that we have to indulge in self-loathing either. Plus, I've seen many of the Celts as well. They are Christian people like us, the Celts. And in most ways, we and the Celts are ahead of the Vikings, but in some ways the Vikings are ahead of us. The freedom of self-determination and the right of freedom is the God-given right of all people groups on this planet. Because they are all human beings created in God's image. Plus they're a young race.
Will grant you that land. In the meantime, I'm a future wife.
Fear not, he'll be here momentarily.
The king!
I'm just the king's servant. And Merida, this is the Queen of Wessex, Elswith. Lady Elswith. She's the great Lady Elswith. Well, in Dunbroch, Norway, and Sweden, the woman who's married to the king is always referred to as the queen. Why is it different here?
Please, sit.
I didn't know that.
The Northmen were pressing us back. He sacrificed himself for us.
Who is that? Here at your court?
The sons of Björn Ironside. Ragnar Lothbrok, the most famous of all Northmen.
I'm also a Saxon through me mum, and I'm on your side. I helped to defeat Ivar at the Battle of Castle Dunbroch. Even though I helped him fake his death so that the Irish would stop pursuing him, I'm here to fight for you.